various prayer grounds. Good evening and glad to have you join us on the news at 7. My name is Sunday Daramola. Muslims all over the world today celebrate Eid al-Kabir, a major festival to commemorate the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son Ishmael as an act of obedience to Allah. At various prayer grounds, Muslim faithful gathered for the symbolic 2 rakat prayers to mark Eid celebration, from where they proceeded to their respective homes for the symbolic slaughtering of rams to be shared communally. And the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Sahad Abubakar, has called on Nigerians to pray for leaders in the face of many challenges confronting the country. The Sultan made a call at his palace shortly after the Eid prayer during his Salah's message. He said citizens ought to support the leaders in the country in their effort to surmount the challenges bedeviling the nation. And back home, Muslims in Ekiti State have joined their counterparts across the world to mark this year Eid al-Kabir, also known as Festival of Sacrifice. Messages of clerics centered on the need for Muslims to love and tolerate one another in the interest of national development during the prayer. BSS reporter Adeleye Asmo on the report.
Eid al-Kabir, known among the Yoruba as Ileya Festival, is an annual Muslim celebration marking the climax of Hajj, the fifth pillar of Islam. The day symbolizes and commemorates Prophet Ibrahim's ultimate act of devotion and obedience to Almighty Allah. A visit to Eid prayer ground along Federal Polytechnic Road in Ado-Ekiti revealed that worshippers arrived as early as 8 in the morning to observe the 2 rakat prayers. The arrival of the president of the League of Imams and Alfans, Southwest, Edo and Delta States, Sheikh Jamiu Kuliri, at the Ado Central Eid prayer ground signaled the start of the prayer session.
Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
In his sermon, Sheikh Kuliri urged Muslims to embody love and compassion following the example of Prophet Ibrahim. He emphasized that the celebration should not be solely about merriment, but also a time for reflection and renewed dedication to service of God and humanity. At the Ahmadiyya prayer ground, worshippers also observed the 2 rakat prayers. Malam Olomi Tohim encouraged wealthy Muslims to support the less privileged by providing food, drinks, and other essentials. He stressed that national prosperity and development depended on unity, love, and tolerance.
The Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is trying to tell us to sacrifice all our animalistic egoism, all type of stubbornness in our hearts, and we should sacrifice ourselves for our purpose, the main purpose of our creation, that is Allah Almighty, and for the purpose of humanity. So that sacrifice is what brings about this Eid al-Adha, to sacrifice ourselves for the will of Allah and humanity.
A key moment of the event was the slaughtering of a ram, symbolizing the significance of the day. Some worshippers, including the Secretary to Ekiti State Government, Professor Abibat Adubiaro, expressed gratitude to Allah for witnessing this year's Salah and encouraged Muslims to celebrate moderately.
Enjoy all Muslims too. So don't use this occasion for whining and dining alone, but to emulate the good virtues of Prophet Ibrahim by having the strong faith in God and have the total submission to the will of Almighty Allah, and to continue praying for the peace in Ekiti State and in Nigeria.
Message to them is that they should pray for our government. They should pray for Ekiti State. You know, we have a lot of problems in the country now. As regards security, they need to pray for that for us, so that at the end of the day, this government, the people in government, they will have a successful tenure.
The symbolic day means that we give devotion, total submission to the will of Almighty Allah, unity and inclusiveness. That's what we want everybody to imbibe.
We as a government, we join them in doing the same thing, to pray to God that God should give this country, the country should be peaceful and the country should go on the path of progress.
Security personnel maintained order throughout the prayer, while road safety officials ensured smooth traffic flow. Adidayo Adile reporting.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to be patient with his administration's reform, assuring that the toughest times are behind. Tinubu, who gave the assurance in his message to mark the 2025 Eid al-Kabir celebration, said that though the journey has not been easy, his economic reforms had already started yielding positive results. The president also urged Nigerians to continue to pray for the armed forces and security personnel who are risking their lives daily to keep the country safe. Reflecting on the significance of Eid al-Kabir, Tinubu called on Muslims and Nigerians to embrace the values of sacrifice, selflessness, and compassion which the festival symbolizes. Also, the Ekiti State Governor, Mr. Biodo Yebanji, has rejoiced with Muslims on this year's celebration of Eid al-Kabir. Oyebanji, in his goodwill message, described Eid al-Kabir as a festival of sacrifice and joy for the Muslim faithful. He urged Muslims to imbibe the core lessons of Eid Kabir and called on them not to relent in supporting his administration and that of President Bola Tinubu with prayers. Also, the Ewi of Ado-Ekiti Obade Adejugbe has called on all Muslims not to relent on fervent prayers for a peaceful and prosperous country devoid of vices during the Eid Kabir celebration. Obade Adejugbe made a call while congratulating Muslim Umar for witnessing this year's Salah, said prayer was the key to peaceful coexistence among the religious sects. The monarch advised Muslim Umar to always imbibe the spirit of sacrifice and faith, as demonstrated by Prophet Muhammad, adding that the downtrodden in the society need love and care during the festivity period. Similarly, the Chief Medical Director of Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, Ado-Ekiti, Professor Kayode Olabanji, has congratulated members of staff on another Eid Kabir. Professor Olabanji commended the staff for living up to expectation and advised them to continue to inculcate the spirit of obedience, faith, and sacrifice as exemplified by Prophet Muhammad. He expressed gratitude to Governor Biodun Yebanji for the support given to the hospital at all times. The Ekiti State Ministry of Education has officially released the timetable for the 2025 examinations. The Commissioner for Education, Dr. Labimpe Aderiye, said that the placement of examination through which people transit from primary school to secondary school is scheduled to hold from June 12 to June 13, while the junior secondary school certificate examination will begin on June 16 and end on June 19. The secondary school SS2 Unified Promotion examination will commence on June 23 and end on the 1st of July. The State Governor Sheyi Makinde has advocated a single term of 5 or 6 years for elected political office holders. The Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde has advocated a single term of 5 or 6 years for elected political office holders across all levels of government in Nigeria, against the current double term of 4 years each. He made this known while playing host to Muslim faithful alongside traditional rulers and political office holders at his private residence in Ibadan, the state capital, shortly after Eid Kabir prayers. The governor explained that a single term of 5 or 6 years is enough for any government to focus and serve the people and deliver on its mandate. Makinde noted that the proposition had been brought to the attention of the National Assembly and called for a constitutional amendment to the effect. We now go on a short commercial break. We'll be back for the rest of the news.
Beautiful, it's your name. Wonderful is what you are to me. Eba mi kira fún mama mi. Orisha mi ya o, kò sí láé.
Every mom. You welcome back, and now to the rest of the bulletin. The federal government has declared that its collaboration with the Ondo State government on the project named MATNA, a newborn mortality reduction innovation and initiative, MAMI, is making progress. The Director for Family Planning in Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Aminat Mohammed, explained that the project is an initiative of the federal government aimed at reducing child and maternal mortality rate in the country. She pledged to support the state in its bid to safeguard the health and well-being of mothers and children in the state. The governor of Akwa Ibom State, Umo Eno, has officially defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, APC. He made the announcement during an official declaration at the government house in Uyo, the state capital. The governor said that the decision followed 3 months of wide consultation with critical stakeholders across the state. NO expressed the gratitude to the PDP for the support during his tenure, stating that it was time for him to make a progressive move. The Senate Committee on Local Content has reaffirmed President Bola Tinubu's commitment to boosting local government capacity development by creating more employment opportunities for the nation's growing population of graduates and artisans. Chairman of the committee, Senator Joel Thomas, made a revelation during an oversight visit to the iconic Nigerian content tower in Yenogwa, Bayelsa State. He called on stakeholders in the oil and gas industry to support the federal government's drive to generate employment through enhanced local content initiatives. And on the foreign scene, Myanmar authorities have arrested 16 people, including a 6-year-old girl, over the assassination of a retired general shot dead in Yangon last month. Our former ambassador to Cambodia, Chung Ang, was gunned down outside his home on May 22 in an attack claimed by an anti-junta group calling for itself Golden Valley Warriors. Myanmar's military seized power in a 2021 coup, plunging the country into a complex, multi-sided civil war involving pro-democracy guerrillas and resurgent ethnic minority armed groups. The family of the late Otumba Olusegun Ola has said that the legacy left by their father will ever remain indelible. In a statement to mark the 2 years remembrance of the late septuagenarian, the son of the deceased, who is also a member of staff of the broadcasting service of Ekiti State, Mr. Adeola Ola, said the family will continue to build on the legacies. He said the impact of the late Ola on his children remained great, noting that the family will not forget him in a hurry. He said that the father served the community at Ekiti with dedication and passion, and that his legacy will continue to inspire and motivate those who knew him. The late Otumba Ola died July 6, 2023, and survived by wives, children, and grandchildren. At least 10 countries have confirmed their places at the 2026 World Cup. Jordan and Uzbekistan qualified for the first time, while South Korea sealed as 11th successive appearance. Uzbekistan were head to a goalless draw by the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi. The result was enough for them to clinch a second automatic qualification spot in Group A, despite having a game at hand. The trio joined Japan, New Zealand, Iran, and Argentina as the countries to have qualified for the 2026 World Cup. Co-hosts USA, Canada, and Mexico automatically qualified for the competition, as well as the 6 automatic qualifiers from Asia, UAE, and Qatar. And lastly, on the sport news this night, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are currently engaging their counterparts from Russia in a friendly match. The game started by 6 p.m. and yes, currently they are now in the second half of the encounter, and the game is being played at Luhansk Stadium in Russia. And with that news, sport news coming from Russia, we conclude the news at 7 for this night. Thanks for staying tuned. Good night.
I, Senator Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, MOB, the Senate Leader, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District, hereby extend my warmest congratulations to all Muslim faithfuls in Ekiti, most especially Ekiti Central Senatorial District, on the occasion of Eid Mubarak. We thank Almighty Allah for sparing our lives to witness this year Eid Mubarak. May Almighty Allah accept our sacrifices, hear our prayers, and forgive all our sins. As we celebrate this year Eid Mubarak, let's continue to promote peaceful coexistence in our homes and communities through love and peace that Islamic religion stands for. May Almighty Allah's blessing be upon us. May this celebration mark a new chapter of prosperity, good health, and happiness. Once again, Barka de Salah. This message is from Senator Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, MOB, representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District, the Senate Leader, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
ẹ kalẹ̀ ẹ sì káàbọ̀ sórí ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Kelechi David lóníròyìn yìí. Àwọn mùsùlùmí káàkiri àgbáyé lónìí ṣe ayẹyẹ pọ̀pọ̀ ṣinṣin ọdún Iléyá tó jẹ́ ọdún èyí tí ó sàmì bí ànábì Ibrahim ṣe gbà láti fi ọmọ rẹ̀ kan ṣoṣo Ismail rúbọ nígbọràn sí àṣẹ Allah. Àwọn yídì káàkiri àwọn mùsùlùmí ni wọ́n rí tó wà ní aṣọ tó rẹwà tí wọ́n sì péjọ láti ṣàdúrà rakat èyí tí ó ń sàmì ọdún náà kó tó di pé kálukú gba ilé wọn lọ láti pa àgbò ọdún táwọn míì sì ń pa ewúrẹ́, ẹran màlúù tàbí àwọn ẹran míì tí wọ́n pín fún àwọn aládùúgbò fún títí àjọyọ̀ náà. Ní báyìí náà, Sultan tìlú Sokoto Mohammed Abubakar ti pàrọwà sáwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà láti gbàdúrà fún àwọn adarí níbi orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí ń kojú ọ̀pọ̀ ìpèníjà lọ́wọ́ yìí. Sultan sọ pé ìpè bẹ́ẹ̀ nílé rẹ̀ ní kété lẹ́yìn àdúrà ọdún. Ó ní ó ṣe pàtàkì káwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ó ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún àwọn adarí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí níbi wọ́n ti ń ṣakitiyan láti wójútùú sí àwọn ìpèníjà tó ń kojú orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Bákan náà, àwọn mùsùlùmí nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn akẹgbẹ́ wọn káàkiri àgbáyé lónìí láti ṣayẹyẹ pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìṣe ọdún Iléyá fún tọdún yìí tí wọ́n pè ní ọdún ìfaraẹnijì. Níbi ìsìn ọdún ọ̀hún ni àwọn òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ti ṣàpèjúwe ìfẹ́ àti ìpamọ́ra láàrin àwọn mùsùlùmí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ara àwọn ohun tí ó lè mú ìdàgbàsókè bá orílẹ̀-èdè. Adédayọ̀ Adélẹ̀ jábọ̀ ròyìn pé ọdún Iléyá ló jẹ́ ọdún yìí tí ó máa ń wáyé lọ́dọọdún láàrin àwọn mùsùlùmí léyìí tí ó sì ń fi òpin sí ìrìn àjò hajj àwọn mùsùlùmí sílẹ̀ mímọ́ tó jẹ́ òpó karùn-ún nínú ẹ̀sìn Islam. Àbẹ̀wò oníròyìn wa sí yídì tó wà ní pópónà Federal Poly nílùú Àdó fi hàn pé àwọn mùsùlùmí ló dé yídì náà lọ́wọ́ aago 8 òwúrọ̀ láti ṣàdúrà rakat kejì. Pẹ̀lú àdúrà ṣe gbé aṣọ ní kété tí ààrẹ àgbáríjọpọ̀ àwọn ẹlẹ́sìn Islam àfà lẹ́kùn gúúsù ìwọ̀ oòrùn ìpínlẹ̀ Èdó àti Delta Sheikh Jamiu Kewulere dé oríkò àdúrà tí ó wà ní ọ̀nà Federal Poly nílùú Àdó. Níbi nínú wáàsí rẹ̀, Sheikh Wule rọ àwọn mùsùlùmí láti fi àyè gba ìfẹ́ àtọ́jú àánú níbàámu pẹ̀lú àpẹẹrẹ ti Ànábì Ibrahim léyìí tí ó fi lélẹ̀. Ó ní kí wọ́n má ṣe fi ọdún náà ṣe pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìnṣìn nìkan, àmọ́ kí wọ́n lo àkókò ọdún náà fi ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ara wọn láti lè farajì sí ìdàgbàsókè àti iṣẹ́ ẹ̀sìn láwùjọ. Malam Olúwómi Tahim gba àwọn mùsùlùmí tó ríṣẹ́ gọ́là fún nímọ̀ràn pé kí wọ́n ṣèrànwọ́ fún àwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún láwùjọ láti lè jẹ́ kí àwùjọ rọrùn sí i. Lára àwọn tí wọ́n bá oníròyìn sọ̀rọ̀ tó fi mọ́ akọ̀wé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ni wọ́n lo àkókò láti kí àwọn mùsùlùmí kú ọdún. Mísánná ìjọ AUD ti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Alhaji Mohammed Babatunde ti pàrọwà sáwọn ẹlẹ́sìn Islam pẹ̀lú àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì láti béèrè fún ìmọ̀ tó lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe àṣeyọrí níbi Ànábì Muhammad ti là kalẹ̀ nínú wáàsí rẹ̀ ní yídì Àárọ̀mí nílùú Ìkẹrẹ Èkìtì. Alhaji Abdulsalam sọ pé ó ṣe pàtàkì fáwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà láti máa yin Ọlọ́run kí wọ́n sì máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ nígbà gbogbo nípòkípò tí wọ́n bá wà. Bákan náà ní yídì Nawarudeen Òkè Ọ̀ṣun nílùú Ìkẹrẹ, mísánná Alhaji Abdulhamad Adéníran sọ pé ìdájọ́ Allah dúró de gbogbo ènìyàn lọ́jọ́ àgbéǹde alikiyama, bó ti rọ àwọn mùsùlùmí láti takété síwà ibi kí wọ́n má sì ṣe di pé wọ́n rẹ́ ẹnìkejì jẹ níbi ó ti rọ̀ wọ́n láti rí pé wọ́n gbé ìgbé ayé ìwà mímọ́. Ní báyìí náà, Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu ti pàrọwà sáwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà láti ṣe sùúrù pẹ̀lú àwọn àtúntò ìjọba rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bó ti ní òpin yóò dé bá àkókò tí ohun gbogbo le koko lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí láìpẹ́. Ààrẹ Tinubu tó fọwọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí sọ̀yà nínú iṣẹ́ ẹkú ọdún tó rán sáwọn mùsùlùmí fún ti ọdún iléyà, sọ pé bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ìrìn àjò náà kò rọrùn síbẹ̀, ó tẹnumọ́ pé àwọn àtúntò ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ìjọba òun ló ti ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń so èso rere. Bó ti rọ àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà láti tẹ̀síwájú àdúrà fáwọn ológun àti àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò ilẹ̀ yìí èyí tí wọ́n ti ń fi ẹ̀mí wọn sí abẹ́ ìdojúkọ ewu láti dáàbò bo orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí ti báwọn mùsùlùmí yọ̀ fún ti ayẹyẹ ọdún iléyà fún ti ọdún yìí. Nínú iṣẹ́ ẹkú ọdún rẹ̀, gómìnà Oyèbánjí júwe ọdún náà bíi ọdún ìfaraẹnijì àti ìfẹ́ fáwọn ẹlẹ́sìn Islam. Ó rọ àwọn mùsùlùmí láti tẹ̀lé àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ pàtàkì ti ọdún iléyà léyìí tí ó fi kọ́ni bó ti rọ̀ wọ́n láti má ṣe dákẹ́ àtìlẹ́yìn wọn fún ìjọba òun àti ìjọba ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu pẹ̀lú àdúrà wọn. Ewì tìlú Adó Èkìtì ọba Adéyẹmọ Adéjùgbé ti pé àwọn mùsùlùmí láti má káàárẹ̀ nínú àdúrà wọn fún àlàáfíà àti àlùyọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láìsí rògbòdìyàn níbi wọ́n ti bá wọn yọyọ̀ ti ọdún Eid Kabir. Ọba Adéjùgbé, ẹni tí ó fún pè náà nígbà tí ó ránṣẹ́ ìkíni kú ọdún sí àwọn mùsùlùmí fún bí wọ́n ṣe rí ọdún iléyá àtijọ́dún yìí, sọ pé àdúrà ṣe kókó fún àlàáfíà láàrin gbogbo àwọn ẹlẹ́sìn. Ọbalayé náà rọ àwọn mùsùlùmí láti ní ẹ̀mí ìfaradà àti ìgbàgbọ́ níbi tí òjíṣẹ́ ńlá Muhammad níbi ó ti sọ wípé wọ́n ní láti ṣe ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn aláìní láwùjọ kí wọ́n sì fìfẹ́ hàn sí wọn lákòókò ọdún. Síwájú sí i, dókítà àgbà nílé ìwòsàn ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ṣègùn ti fásitì ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì EXUF ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Káyọ̀dé Ọlábánjí ti kí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ilé ìwòsàn náà kú oríire ti pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìṣe ọdún iléyà. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ọlábánjí yòǹbo àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ilé ìwòsàn náà fún bí wọ́n ṣe kọ́ṣẹ́ tí wọ́n sì jáfáfá lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ wọn, èyí tí ó ní wọn kò já ilé ìwòsàn náà kulẹ̀, tó sì rọ̀ wọ́n láti tẹ̀síwájú ìwà ọmọlúàbí, ìgbàgbọ́, ìjólóòtọ́ àti ìfaraẹnijì, èyí tí Ànábì Muhammed fi àpẹẹrẹ rẹ̀ lélẹ̀. Ó dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí fún àtìlẹ́yìn rẹ̀ fún ilé ìwòsàn náà nígbà gbogbo. Iléeṣẹ́ fẹ́tò ẹ̀kọ́ nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ti kéde ìlànà fún ètò ìdánwò nípínlẹ̀ yìí. Nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan, kọmíṣánná fẹ́tò ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀mọ̀wé Ọlábímpé Adéríyè sọ pé ìdánwò àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó fẹ́ wọ iléèwé girama wọn yóò ṣe ní ọjọ́ 12 sí ọjọ́ 13 oṣù yìí. Níbi ó ti sọ pé ìdánwò àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí ó wà ní iléèwé girama ti ọlọ́dún kẹta àkọ́kọ́ ni yóò wáyé ní ọjọ́ 16 oṣù yìí títí di ọjọ́ 19 oṣù yìí. Bákan náà ló fi kún pé ètò ìdánwò ti àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ti ọlọ́dún kejì àgbà láti fi gba àgbéga sí kíláàsì tó kàn ni yóò wáyé ní ọjọ́ 23 oṣù yìí tí ó sì parí ní ọjọ́ 1 oṣù tó ń bọ̀. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Akwa Ibom Umo Eno ti kó àṣà rẹ̀ kúrò nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP tó wà tó sì ti darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC. Ó kéde ọ̀rọ̀ yìí níbi ètò kan tó wáyé nílé ìjọba nílùú Uyo tó jẹ́ olúlu ìpínlẹ̀ náà. Gómìnà Eno sọ pé òun gbé ìgbésẹ̀ náà lẹ́yìn oṣù mẹ́ta tí òun ti fi ọ̀rọ̀ lọ àwọn ìkàn ní àti ẹni ọ̀rọ̀ kàn nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún àti káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Àwọn aláṣẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Myanmar ti fi páńpẹ́ ọba gbé àwọn èèyàn 16 kan tó fi mọ́ ọmọdébìnrin ọmọ ọdún 6 látàrí bí wọ́n ti jẹ́ pé àwọn ẹni náà ló jẹ́ aláfẹ̀yìntì kan tí wọ́n yìnbọn pa lóṣù tó kọjá ní Yangon. Sean Hong tó ti fi ìgbà kan jíjẹ́ aṣojú orílẹ̀-èdè náà sí Cambodia ni wọ́n yìnbọn pa níwájú ilé rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ 22 oṣù tó kọjá. Àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí olóògbé Ọ̀túnba Olúṣẹ́gun Ọlá ti sọ pé wọn kò ní gbàgbé àwọn ìwà rere àti iṣẹ́ rere tí bàbá wọn ti ṣe, níbi ó ti jẹ́ pé àrùn rẹ̀ yóò máa yìn wọ́n títí láéláé. Nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan láti fi sàmì ìrántí ọdún kejì tí àgbàlú náà papòdà, ìkan lára àwọn ọmọ olóògbé náà tó jẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ rédíò àti tẹlifíṣàn ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adéọlá Ọlá, sọ pé àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí náà ni yóò máa mọ́lé àwọn àṣeyọrí bàbá wọn. Ó ní ipa olóògbé Ọlá nínú ayé àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ ni ó jẹ́ mánigbàgbé, àti pé àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí ọ̀hún ni kò ní gbàgbé ipa náà níbọ̀rọ̀. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọlá sọ pé bàbá òun ni ó ṣiṣẹ́ ṣe ìlú Adó Èkìtì tó sì ní ìfarajì àti ìtara lójúnà àti rí pé wọ́n gbé ṣe ìtanijí fún àwọn èèyàn láti lè débi gíga. Olóògbé Ọ̀túnba Ọlá ló jáde láyé lọ́jọ́ 6 oṣù keje ọdún 2023 tí àwọn ọmọ àti aya sì gbẹ̀yìn olóògbé náà. Èyí ló pin ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́, ìyókù ti di lọ́la ká sùn lò.